go down. I said, y'all, it's about to go down.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to a special broadcast of Urban Health Outreach Media. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Thanks for joining us tonight. How's everyone doing? Man, this show, if you've been down, this is a show that you want to see tonight. For the next 45 minutes, we're going to have kidney warrior Derald Queen from Anne Arundel, Maryland, share his story. Now, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and how many kidney warriors out there have heard no transplants are being done? You mean, you're hearing different stories. You may have heard someone getting a transplant. You hear this, you hear that. But for the most part, you're hearing no transplants are being done. In fact, Jared A. Brown, host of Warriors Quest, hasn't been advocating for warriors looking for kidneys because he doesn't know what's going on. But let me tell you, tonight we got a story of a miracle. Someone getting a kidney on Easter Sunday and in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. As they say, won't he do it? So without further ado, I'm going to bring on AKA the Miracle Man, Derald Queen, all the way from Anne Arundel, Maryland. What's going on, Derald?
Well, I just said I'm grateful. That's my word, grateful. It's not mine. You can borrow it if you like, but I'm grateful.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. It's good to see you, man. How many days has it been since you had your transplant?
April 13th, actually 6 a.m. Monday morning, day after Easter. They called me on Easter Sunday and said, come get your chocolate kidney out your Easter basket.
Wow. Wow. And for a lot of people who don't know, I used to be a nurse at the facility where Derald used to go for treatment back in 2012, 13, 14. So that's how me and Derald know each other. But Derald, man, a lot of people don't know your story, man. You do a lot. Before we hear your story, I just want people to know when I met you, I guess like 2014, something like that. No, it was 2014, 15, because I just started my nonprofit, and you were a big part, instrumental in mentoring me through that. But you were on dialysis. You were did karate lessons. You were hairstylist, practicing hairstylist. On top of that, you were president of a beauty college, and you had some other things going on, like five things going on, and still doing dialysis. Where did that energy come from?
All I can say is, I thank God my mother, she never allowed us to quit. We had to complete whatever we started to the best of our ability. And I carry that through my life because it was no such thing as you can't. She said, you exhausted until you could possibly do it no more, then I'll help you, but not until.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did your life start with kidney disease?
1983, I can tell you, I was diagnosed with diabetes. It runs in both sides of my family, my parents, and of course, I didn't know much about it then. But I was in the military, the Navy, for 6 years. Upon me finishing my 6 year as a reservist, 2 years reserve, I started having some health challenges. And of course, those are some of the first signs of being diabetic is frequent urination, extremely thirsty all the time, and neither one of them are quenched. And so I finally decided to go get myself checked out. And when I did, I found out I was diabetic. From that
Wow.
point, I had to make some decisions. You know, at 23 years of age, by myself, no kids, no pets, had to figure it out and figure out what was I going to do.
Wow. Wow. And so when did you actually start dialysis? When did all that all played into this?
A little over 10 years ago, I started dialysis. My dietary habits have changed about 15 times from 83 until now in order to improve and do what I need to do to make me better. See, the thing about information, it's only power if it's powerful, or power if it's coupled with wisdom.
Right.
So you got to know what to do with it. So I knew in order for me to take care of me, I had to do what the health professionals advised me to do for my particular regimen in order to make sure that I could take care of me to the best of my ability. Needless to say, well, the thing about being a diabetic, no matter how much you do, because there is no current cure, quote unquote cure, you can only manage it. So I managed it from every level to the best of my ability. But of course, over the years, it just got worse.
Right. 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 Yeah. I remember by you being on dialysis, you always had a positive attitude.
And what I think that carries you the biggest part, because if you don't have the will to live for yourself and to help other people to do the same, it's kind of hard to draw strength from other people when you're not sharing what you're going through in order to get that strength from other people.
Wow. Wow. Now, you started dialysis 10 years ago?
10 years ago, November of 2010.
hmm Were you did you ever get any calls between then and now for a transplant?
I proved my heart function for 10 years, or really more than that, was only 18%. Only 18%. So I tell people, I say, look, once again, you have to have lots of positive people in your corner. And the school where I'm the principal at, which I was a student there in 1982, and I ended up being the principal 30 some years later. I've been teaching 37 years and been a principal for the last 6 years. It just seems a miracle. But the people I work with on my job, in particular, my chief administrator, Samara and Justin Sisserman, they were really encouraging, and it all started with their dad in 1982. And when I came out the military, and he gave me a scholarship just on who I was and what I'd done, and so that was really encouraging. So even in the midst of being sick, I was like, I got to make the best of this, regardless
Wow.
how it comes out.
Wha-
I'm going to finish the race.
And Daryl, you said your heart effraction was only 18%. We say how much percent?
18% for almost 10 years.
Wow.
10 years. And so when I got remarried about 9 years ago, I told my wife at that particular time that she was the beginning of the healing of my heart. The biggest support I have, of course, next close to me is my wife right now, Dr. Shanice Queen. And because of her, I told her, she looked at me kind of puzzled, because she didn't understand quite what I was saying at the time, because we were still learning each other. And I told that. And as the years went on, my heart went from 18% to 25% to end up being 46%. Now, as a dialysis patient, for those who don't know it, it usually stays the same and goes down, but it never goes up. Mine's almost tripled,
Wow.
2.5 times.
And so since then that has disqualified you from being on the transplant list.
Right. I could never be on it because my heart function was too low, and they said you would die on the table unless it's 30% or above.
Wow. Wow.
So
Incredible.
So when I got checked again, I was able to get better health coverage, and my wife arranged that so graciously. and she made sure she could arrange that and took care of it. Once I got that and I was able to get better testing and better coverage, I found that my heart had improved and I hadn't even known. I didn't even know. I didn't know it had improved like that. So I was like, I was blown away. So then they said, well, listen, we need to start working you up to get on the transplant list. I said, what? It was like, yeah. So July last year, I started my workup and going through all the tests and everything to get on the transplant list, donor list.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing to me. I was happy to go through the process regardless of how it came out because people keep saying what they want God to do and all this stuff, and then when they get in the middle of the battle, they want to quit and then blame it on God. You didn't finish the race, so how you know how it's going to come out? Finish
Wow.
the race.
Right.
Regardless of what you think it's going to be, finish the race, and then you'll know. Until then, you don't know because you didn't finish.
Now, Derald, did you at any time before the transplant, did you have any grim hopes that you weren't going to proceed through this process because of the coronavirus?
No, that never entered my mind. I never went to my mind. All I knew was that when I started this process in July, my focus was on getting the kidney. I lost 17 pounds from July until now to prepare myself as best I could, doing once again, like my mother taught me, the best you can for where you at. I ain't make no excuses about all the negative stuff, what it might not be, how it might not come to pass. Yeah, if you want to have faith, then you have to really believe in something you cannot see. And if it's not part of you, then it's not part of you. Then that's when you draw strength from other people to help encourage you. Like I want to do right now, like I'm doing right now. My sole purpose for being on here tonight is to let somebody else know that it's not over. As long as you're still in the game, in the race, it's not over. So don't act like it's over. Act like you're going to make it.
Mm. So, can you take us through Sunday morning? How your day, how you woke up, and how that whole process started.
Man, Sunday morning, I'm watching the internet telecast of my pastor, I'm watching this around 11 o'clock. I get a phone call, so I recognize this exchange. So because I do a lot of business stuff, as you said, I called, I answered the phone, and they said, "This is Derald Queen." I said, "Yes." They said, "This is University of Maryland Medical System." I said, "Yes." They said, "We're calling about you getting a kidney today." I said, "What?" I said, "It's Easter Sunday." They said, "Well, when's the last time you eaten?" I said, 8:25 this morning. They said, "Don't eat any more today." I said, "Okay." So that was 11 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, I called her back and said, "No, am I still eligible to get this kidney today?" She said, "Let me call you back in an hour." She called me back in 45 minutes. Said, "Bring your bags on down. Come get your kidney." I
Wow.
was blown away. So my wife, we jumped in the car. We went down there. I checked in around 6:30. By 7 o'clock, I was in my room, and they was great, and they was doing pre-op procedures.
So, was your wife able to come in with you?
No, she couldn't come in. She had to drop me off at the door
Right.
because of all this stuff. There was no visitors. So she dropped me off at the door. I let her know I was safe. Everything was okay. When I got to my room, I kept her, kept in check with her so she know everything was going on, so she wouldn't have to worry. And even after I had gotten the surgery itself, the next morning at 6 a.m., they were taking me to surgery.
Right. And so you had to recover really by yourself.
Oh. I remember, with modern technology being the way it is, and all the people who were praying for me, everybody knowing I was being there, I wasn't alone.
No, I
I
understand,
wasn't
but
alone.
but what I'm saying for
Yeah.
most
Oh, yeah,
people, and
physically.
before all this happened, the process was, your family member going with you, they're in your room, you come back from
Oh, yeah, no.
surgery, they there. But I mean, even though you had people praying and the spirit of God in the room with you, but at any point did you feel alone?
No, never. Not one point in my life. Because see, I focus on the big picture. The big picture is saying that no matter what you're going through right now, this is not the end of the story. This is part of the story. And if you want to get to the end, you got to get through the middle.
Wow.
So I stay focused on I'm getting a transplant on Easter Sunday. It's a miracle. And whether I'm here physically by myself or not, that doesn't make a difference. It's still going to happen.
Mm.
So I'm just, I got to tell you, my word is grateful. I try to take nothing or anyone for granted. So my mother said when I was a kid, I talk too much. I still talk too much, and somebody get paid for it. But my thing is encouraging other people, letting them know that regardless of the state you're in, be happy in the state you're in. Because until you're happy where you're at, you can't go to the next level.
Mm, mm, mm. Now, Derald, now I know you mentioned that there was some small challenges with this transplant that has since started to resolve itself.
Oh yeah, man, please. They had a big problem with my sugar levels while I was in the hospital, being so getting under control. And so at one point I was up to like 500 at once, and they put me on a sugar drip to be able to bring it down. Ended up dropping to 63, and then I had to
Woo!
go get a sonogram on the area. That same night, I was in pain for 12 hours straight. I mean, real
Mm.
pain. I haven't been hurt like that, but maybe one other time in my entire life. But I kept telling myself, this is part of the process, and this will not last. And this is
Hmm.
what I got to go through. The operative phase is going through.
Right.
And miraculously, by 2 o'clock that morning, I started feeling a little better, and then things got better. Now I actually turned the corner, as they say.
Right. Now, didn't you mention that your kidney was something of a sleepy kidney? Can you share a little bit about that and how that's turned around?
Yeah, yeah, because when I was first there, they gave me the transplant, and I got my a biopsy just before I left, so they make sure there was no signs of rejection, things of that nature. And they told me, they said, well, you might have to be on dialysis for another couple more weeks until the kidney actually wakes up. Well, yesterday I went to get my first post evaluation yesterday, and when they finished everything, a couple things they mentioned. One, that they said, I don't know how you learn all these additional 20 some medications in less than a week, and you just got them. You know most of these medications, when to take them, when not to take them already. And then at the completion of the treatment yesterday, they said all of your levels in reference to the cleansing of your blood and your function of your kidney are in normal parameters. The only thing I had to work on was my sugar levels, and that seemed to resolve itself today. I woke up at 168 this morning, sugar level.
Wow.
I, I've, I've
Wow.
made I've made more urine in 4 days than I made in 10 years.
Wow.
And
Wow. You
and they
said
said
more
that's a good
urine in four
sign of
days than you made in 10 years.
in 10 years. I couldn't believe it. Of course, that shows how well the kidneys functioning to some degree. And so when I got finished, they was like, well, you don't need to go to dialysis tomorrow. You call and cancel your appointment, come back Friday. We're going to recheck again. If things go well this Friday, as they've gone down and not and better, then you don't go to dialysis anymore.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're saying that you had to continue dialysis even after the transplant?
Yeah, for at least they told me for at least 2 more weeks possibly. And so I'm saying in reference to that, those 2 weeks, that I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Excuse me, I'm trying to get adjusted in. I'm going to do this and for 2 more weeks, and then I do what they say because I believe in following instructions if it's going to take care of me. So I'm following instructions to let me adjust this thing a little bit, to take care of me, and I'm telling them, hey, I'm going to get this done, it's done. They say, fine. So when I go back, after I finished yesterday, it was like, no, you're not going to dialysis anymore. Not tomorrow. Cancel your appointment for tomorrow, and then we'll check you again Friday, and to let you know if you need to go back at all.
So when they told you
So I'm
that you don't need to go back to dialysis, what was your first thought?
like, wow, this is truly a miracle because I did not expect my kidney to function that well that fast. I didn't. And it was just, and I've been talking to my wife about it all day today. And I'm like, this is just not, man, this is just not real. It's not real. But I'm believing God and I'm thanking God and I'm saying, this ain't real, man. It just ain't real. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm just so grateful. I I don't know what to say. I'm just so grateful, man. And it just, it brings tears to my eyes to think about having waited all this time and everything else, and then how God is just, just bringing me out. 10 years I've been waiting, 10 years, and here I am at the point when I was just discussing with my wife that I feel like I'm gonna get to live a per se normal life, you know, a normal life, man. I mean, I spent 20 hours a week just going to dialysis alone.
Right, right.
20
Wow.
hours a week. So in the middle of that, I own a karate school for 28 years. I'm still trying to do that. I'm playing principal and teaching for 37 years. Have another business continuing education, and I'm still managing to um, go speak to other people and different women's groups, organizations. At the same token, because I want people to know that you have a choice. That you have a choice, and you got to make the best of where you at in order to get the most out of what you want. And that
Mm.
you can't expect God to take you someplace that you don't show and say you're ready to go, though you don't even see the sign of it. You want to make sure that you can go, and proof of that, like I tell people in business, when I'm thinking about business, if you don't believe in God, you can't go in business because you got to be in God every day that you're in business because you don't know from one day to the next. So for every time, for every success you have, you're supposed to share it, in my opinion, with other people because you don't know what they're going through and what areas of encouragement they need, whether it's health, whether it's business, whether it's just general life. No, and I'm,
Wow.
and I'm just grateful because both my parents were social workers, and we learned that as a social skill
Mm.
amongst me and my siblings to be able to know ourselves. And that's the only way you're going to grow and be fruitful. And so, on that note, before I forget, I just want to thank you for your great friendship and your encouraging me and all those times you took care of me as a nurse. And that once again, me running my big mouth is what got us into the conversation. And here we are today, and I'm just grateful.
Yeah, me too, man. It's kind of surreal. People watching don't know our story. But again, like I said in the beginning, you've been very instrumental in me getting to this point with a lot of mentorship and words of wisdom. And not to throw shade on
Yeah.
the company that I despise, but I mean, we even went through a period of time of injustice in a dialysis facility, the way that it went through a construction process and had patients coming in for treatment in the midst of dust and mold and other unhealthy sanitary situations that people who are probably listening right now wouldn't believe that happened.
Yeah, well, you got to learn to pay attention and advocate for yourself. And that you got to remember your health is your priority. It's not everybody else's priority most of the time. And you like to think that the health professionals who taken on that job, that task, that journey of life are serving your best interest. But unfortunately, you have to be your best advocate, and you have to educate yourself constantly on what's going on about you and anything that might affect you in the medical arena.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let me ask you, Derald. Uh, Before you got the transplant and you were in the units, did you see many people advocating for themselves? Is this a problem that's
I think it's a problem due to the fact that a lot of people kind of give up hope. You know, they kind of give up hope along the way sometimes, and they don't think this is the way it is the way it has to be, and it's always going to be that way. That change is not going to come in a positive nature to make them a better quality of life. I was just discussing with my wife, I mean, this morning, all the things that we want to do, all the places we want to go, because I won't have to sleep with my girlfriend called the machine anymore. I ain't got to run back to her like I'm having a secret love affair with something who's keeping me alive. I don't have
right?
to do that. No. I mean, planning all my vacation time and time and flights and stuff, making sure I get back for dialysis so I don't miss my time of visitation with my other girlfriend. So
Wow.
and I'm looking forward to getting my 20 hours of and that and then some back. And being able to share more messages like we're doing now with other people and helping my wife because my wife really sacrificed a lot. I have to say that again, your support system is everything. And my wife is beyond great. And she's only 4 feet 11, 140 pounds. But she's the director for certified medical education at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. And so
Oh, that's
she's a smart
awesome.
woman. She's a
Yeah,
smart woman.
absolutely.
But as a man, I have to recognize I married her because she's smart. So therefore, I should listen to
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
her.
Wow. Um, Now, man, you just said a mouthful, and I got some information from the side that said that you even is a mentor to Cheryl's nephew, who is also challenged with diabetes at age 7. How important is that to you, man?
It's very important because one, I love kids, and everybody know I love kids. And I think kids, especially in the African American community, it need as many positive examples as they could possibly get of men doing real life stuff, nurturing other people beyond themselves. See, a real man ain't a man unless he can take care of someone outside of himself.
Mm,
And so, if you teach a boy that a boy can either destroy a family or build one up because eventually he gonna have one.
right,
And so
right.
if he knows how, if he has somebody like myself, like I have other gentlemen in my life to who I can go to, you have to have people on your level, below your level, and above your level in order to have a balanced life. I have gentlemen who are much older than me who I call on when I'm not sure. And even at 60 years old, yes, 60 years old, you still need to talk to somebody. I don't know what other people know who've gone before me,
Hmm.
but I do
So,
know who have the information.
right. So Daryl, let's just let the audience know that's watching that even though you got the miracle gift of life on Easter Sunday, um, this hasn't been a pretty road for you getting to that point. In fact, uh, in the past, you shared several Facebook posts and videos of you being sick, being in the hospital, thanking your wife for the support and being there for you. Can you just share some of the challenges that you experienced throughout the years to get to this point in your life? And some of them been life threatening too.
Oh yeah, I've almost died 4 times since 2010, twice in the same day. Uh, my wife literally 2 years ago, I came home from dialysis, passed out with the same family of E. coli virus, passed out, never passed out before in my life. My wife picked me up off the floor, put my pants on, carried me down a flight of steps, put me in the car. When I got to the hospital, my blood pressure was 64/34. They said I should have died next to her. Since 2004, as of yesterday, I've had 49 surgical procedures.
Wow. Wow.
And I had to fight through all of them to keep myself going, to keep it going. And once again, one of my biggest motivating factors is that I love kids. My family, some people might say it's a little archaic, but we have family meetings and we kind of tell the other members of our family what to do in order to keep the family tight. But more important to me is my wife. My wife has done more than I could possibly imagine any woman doing for a man in all my life. And I tell my wife purposely 10 times a day, minimally, that I love her. And the day I married her, I told her parents to her face that I'm willing to die for her the same way they're willing to die to raise her. I'm willing to do that to take care of her and keep her. That's how much
Wow.
she means to me and how serious about it. And she knows that I'll do anything. I'll do anything I can for her because she sacrificed and she married me with tubes hanging on my chest, going through bankruptcy, credit being bad from a previous marriage. And she looked at my face with those tubes hanging up my chest. And I'll never forget what she said. She says, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life.
Mm.
That was 10 years ago. And now she's done that. She's done more than I ever could expect or imagine a woman to do. And sometimes I feel bad because I think I'm putting more on her. And she says, you're not. I knew what I was getting to when I married you, and I signed up for this. And you do just as much for me, if not more, than I do for you. And honestly, I can't see it most of the time because I still think she's doing a lot more for me than I'm doing for her. But as long as she's happy and I can keep it that way, and she know I love her. Like I said, I'm the richest man in the world. I got a new
Mm.
kidney. I got a great wife. You know, I get to encourage other people. I can still get to teach, do martial arts, and I get to love people and show them that you have a choice, and it's not a negative or bad one.
Yeah, I was just sitting here thinking while you were talking. I had the fortunate opportunity to meet your lovely wife when we appeared in 2015 on the radio show WEAA
Yeah.
when you came on. And so when I look back at that and I look where we are today, it's truly a humbling experience to be here talking with you uh, after you received a transplant call on Easter Sunday.
Like you said, in the midst of the coronavirus, where they think they're not doing anything but just taking care of quote unquote emergency regular stuff, they still taking care of miracles. Stuff still being done. So don't let
Right.
people tell you what can be. One thing I learned about business, everything's negotiable.
Mm. Now, Derald, one thing that you didn't share that you have a red blood type that put you to the
Oh,
top of the list. Can you share a little bit about that?
yeah. Coupled with the fact that I've been on dialysis for 10 years, as I've said, my blood type is AB positive, which means I can receive a kidney from anybody, but they can't receive one from me. That's only 10% of the world's population, AB positive.
Wow. Wow. So were you already at the top of the list or
Oh, I got on the list a month ago. That's the other part of the miracle. They put me on the list
wait a
just
minute. I didn't even know that. You mean you just recently got on the transplant list and then got called?
30 days ago. Thursday before the
Wow.
transplant. That was my fourth week being on the list.
I didn't know that. What?
I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting that soon. And I'm literally 4.5 weeks. They called me on Sunday. That previous Thursday made 4 weeks that I was on the list.
Wow. When you was going through the process, how long did they tell you your wait time will be?
Well, they said the average wait time is 4 to 7 years for anybody.
Wow.
But because I was already on dialysis, that kind of helped push me to the because dialysis patients get priority. Plus, I had red blood. So that made it a little easier for me to get closer to the top of the list. But I didn't know it was gonna be to the top like that 4 weeks later.
Right. Wow.
If it had been 4 months later, excuse me, just 4 months later, that still would have been soon to me. But 4 weeks?
Right.
I
Right.
was there 4 weeks and 2 days.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. That's
Man.
why I was expecting them later on Sunday, Easter.
Right.
I
Right.
just got on the list.
Wow.
So that's why I call it the miracle, man, because on Resurrection Sunday, God revived my body, my life, reconstructed everything. He said, but see, people always say, oh, that's so nice. But you got to go through something in order to get somewhere. You just don't just jump from here to there. It's a process. And unless you're willing to go through the process, how can God honor you by giving you a gift of life that you get to keep?
Let me ask you
Unless
a
you put some work
question.
in.
Was there ever a point or in your mind that you may not make it to see a transplant? Did that doubt ever creep in your mind?
I mean, yeah, of course it did to some degree, but once again, as I said from the very beginning, a mother said, finish the race. And as long as you're alive, you're in the race. It's not done until it's done.
Mm.
And so when I found out this almost 10 years ago that my heart was starting to improve, where can I go from there and say, oh, well, I gotta work a little harder. I gotta work a little
Now,
harder.
what helped improve your heart? I know you said your wife was a big part of it,
Well,
but was it the medicine? Did you work out? I mean, did you change your
oh yeah,
diet?
definitely. I changed my diet countless times. As I got better medical advice and more medical advice on what to do from get from one place to the next, I changed my diet. And no, it's not easy. When people talk about I'm going on a diet, that's a short-term solution for a long-term problem. You need to change your lifestyle of eating. You need to eat to live, not live to eat. Period.
Mm, mm.
A lot of us
That,
want to do what's pleasing, what's good to us, and nice. But are you really, really going to do it? Do you really believe it in your heart, or are you just saying it with your mouth?
right.
And when it comes to you, you ought to be your biggest critic and best fighter. And how you gonna know you can't breathe and you still smoke?
Right. I like those lines you used to tell me a lot of that, man.
Right. And
Get
you,
you
you keep
thinking.
saying it. Yeah. And then you say that, but you say one thing with your mouth, but that's not what you really believe in your heart.
Mm,
And what you believe in your heart is really what you're going to express. It shows who you are. Because see, when things get tough, then the real you come out. When you get pushed against the wall and you got it's going to come out. I went through a terrible divorce, but I'm a cosmetologist. I didn't start hating women because I chose a bad one. I didn't do that. I said, this didn't work out, but I know a lot of beautiful, smart women. So I lean towards that, not how I had a bad one.
wow. Wow. Those some definitely words of wisdom that you're sharing, bro.
Yeah, so I tell people, look, think about all that you want to do and want to accomplish. If you don't put a plan in motion, then what are you giving God to work with?
Mm,
Man proposes, but God disposes. But he can't dispose of something that's not there.
wow. Wow. Man, you just throwing out some nuggets, man. I mean, if no one else is listening and catching on to what you're saying, I'm definitely am, bro. Always
Okay.
glad to hear you talk.
I just want to make sure my life, as always, serves as a most positive and truest example of what I'm supposed to be as a man, as an African American man, as an African American man, and that I use my resources to help other people get to where they want to be, to where they want to be. I can't take you someplace you don't want to go. Because if you don't want to go, you're not going to get there.
Right.
The first lesson I learned about teaching is you can't make people learn. And when it comes to your health, you have to learn about you and about the medical establishment and everything that involves it. The more you learn, the more you earn. The less you know, the faster you go.
Right. Right. Now, how many medications are you taking at this point?
Man, my living room, my kitchen, my dining room area looks like a pharmacy. I
Uh,
got about 30 different, they gave me about 20 some new meds on top of the dozen I already had.
right. Right. Well, let me just say something. I just found kind of crazy. Grand Crew, he says, though I don't see Uncle Derald often, every time I see him, he has always had the most positive energy, always happy and always helping. His salon wasn't named Miracles for nothing. Now, I didn't even know that your salon was named Miracles, and I ended up calling you the Miracle Man. I didn't know
Because
anything about that.
yeah, I got that name because when I first found out I get an opportunity to open a salon back when I was 26. I opened my first two buildings when I was 26. And I got the building. I said I'm gonna open up a salon, and I kept trying to figure out what the name was gonna be. I didn't want my name because I thought that was a little extra. So I kept saying, wow. I'm thinking, God, this is a miracle. I'm getting this place. I'm only 26 years old. I'm a project kid. I have no money. And yet I was buying two buildings. And so I said, this is a miracle. And that's when I had the epiphany. Miracles is going to be. So I called it Miracles Hair Salon because it's not a miracle that I got it. It's the miracle the way I got it.
Wow. Wow. And then you got Brandon Queen. He said that's Brian, Uncle T.
Yeah. And Brandon's my nephew, and he's apprenticing at the salon. Just finished his first year, and he's moving along so fast. He's teaching his 6-year-old son to actually cut his hair. Well, help him cut his hair this weekend.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You saying Brandon Queen is teaching his 6-year-old son how to cut
Yeah,
hair?
yeah. He actually was cutting his hair. He got video. He was cutting this one, helping to cut the father's top of his father's hair this weekend.
Wow.
I got a
Six
video of
years
him.
old forming the concept of cutting hair.
Yeah, because see, all he knows is that he knows the hierarchy of our family, and that I'm quote unquote the family police and the oldest in the family, all that good stuff. But he doesn't understand. But as he gets older, and he understands the respect his father has for me, so that means I must be somebody, whether am or not. That had nothing to do with a 6-year-old. All he knows is that I'm always doing stuff for his father, and Switch Turns does stuff for him. So, and that's what family's supposed to do. But he still doesn't understand the logistics as far as family dynamics, but he understands that this is what my dad does, this is what works, this is what I'm going to do.
Wow. I mean, I,
Only thing
I'm
I'm
just,
afraid of is dying with what I know. I ain't afraid of dying. I'm only afraid of dying what I know. I should be able to take all these great gifts I've been blessed with and pass them to somebody else so they can use them.
mm, that's definitely a selfish act.
So my nephew apprentices, it costs $20,000 to go to beauty school. You know how much he pays? Nothing.
Wow. Wow.
I
I,
want one request for him to learn. As long as he's learning, I'll keep teaching. It'll never cost him a dime.
and I would definitely, if I was in that situation, I'd definitely take advantage of it. You know?
Yeah, he
Wow.
drives. No, he's a great guy. I love him. Like a lot of the rest of my nephews. Everybody has a different gift, and everybody's gift adds to our family. And so, at a time like this for myself, my family checks on me constantly. I got countless amount of friends. I can't even call them clients anymore. They're my friends. and they check on me every other day. If I need stuff, just tell me what you need. I'll drop it off the door. They don't say, break me off some money, or if your bill gonna be this. They just say, tell me what you need. I'll drop it at the door and keep it moving. So your wife, so I know
Wow.
your wife got a lot. So I want to take care of you and your wife and make sure. So I mean, look, you don't need a bunch of friends, just the right ones.
Wow. Wow, man. I mean, it almost made me feel like I wish I had your life.
So I just say, like I said, my bottom line is, I want to share. I want to encourage people. I work with the John Hopkins Oncology for post-traumatic stress with women, helping women to get through physical and mental issues of being abused and stuff. And I really enjoyed that job and being able to help. And once again, it stems from my parents being social workers because they didn't know. My father worked child abuse unit 25 years after the Vietnam War, and my mother graduated from college with 6 kids. And when I graduated from high school, same week. So ain't no such thing as failure in my family.
Mm, wow.
And we
Now,
have a rule. I'm sorry.
right. Man, so what's next for Derald Queen?
Next important thing is I'm learning by way of my family and my wife to enjoy the rest of my life the way it's meant to be enjoyed. I'm going to still continue to encourage, help other people. I'm going to work on a third book for inspirations using my life, trying to encourage other people. That's a big project for me, personal project, and learn how to be a little more fluent, learn how to be fluent in Spanish by the end of the year. So those are my two personal goals, so I can better communicate with people and cross lines to be able to help people, regardless of nationality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, Derald, before we head out, what words of wisdom can you share with the audience? Maybe someone who's watching this broadcast right now that maybe say started dialysis or been on dialysis 18 months or 5 years or 6 years or 15, and they're on the transplant list and they're still waiting for the call. What words of wisdom or encouragement can you share based on your experience, your challenges, and your triumphs?
Constantly prepare for what you know is going to come. That means you can't eat the way you want to eat. You can't drink the way you want to drink. And you have to know it's for a greater good and a greater tomorrow. And if you're doing that and taking care of your body, looking at different medical shows and things to learn how to better take care of you, following the advice of your medical professionals. And look, don't do it sometime. Don't do it when you feel like it. Do it all the time because that helps keep the body in line and ready to receive the gift of life, your kidney.
Mm. Wow. Wow. And I'm sure you would say don't give up. It's like
No,
finish the
most
race.
definitely. That's right. Finish the race. Because once again, I say this, I believe in my heart. You can't blame stuff on God when you didn't finish. You can't quit. You can't say, God help me. And you get in the middle of the process and then you quit and say, he ain't do nothing. You didn't finish the race.
Right. Mm.
You
So
don't quit.
any shout outs you want to give out to maybe anybody watching or
Yes, but I want my teaching staff down at Baltimore Studio of Hair Design. They've been more than gracious in holding me up, holding the school up. Mr. Justin and Samara Sisselman, my administrators. Their dad was my teacher, a very great man, and he taught me a lot of good stuff. Of course, my mother and my father, my siblings are always there. And the host of salon family members I have. My best sister, Sonia Osborne, who's been right there next to my side everywhere, looking out for me. If my eyes even look funny, she's checking. So, I got a whole village around me for real. So there's no way I could not be encouraged and go forward. And
mm,
and
mm,
I
mm.
told everybody, it's not my victory, it's our victory because everybody shared a piece and helped me to get to where I'm at.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, man. That's great because I know you do have a lot of support uh, from that beauty school. I remember coming and visit you and giving that presentation in the class.
Yeah, the girls down there are great. I mean, my students been calling me. I had a student call me. I'm gonna lastly say her name is Lakia Curtis. She called me today, and this young lady fought with leukemia in her early stages. She does New York Fashion Week. She's been all out of the country, in the country. She called me personally today and said, Miss Joe, I know you need anything. I live in Rogers Avenue. She said, I live in Rogers Avenue. She know I live already in Anne Arundel County. She said, I will bring whatever you need. And that meant a lot. That was just call I got today, and that was just so precious to me that people think that much that they understand the plight and they're willing to do whatever it takes to encourage me and build me up so I can continue to do what I do, help other people.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, Derald. Well, man, I mean, I really appreciate you. I know you're recovering, you're still recovering, and I really appreciate you coming on Urban Health Outreach Media to share this amazing story, no short of a miracle, of getting this kidney on Easter Sunday and thriving with it now, and continue to make great improvements each day. Just
and last, I want to
amazing.
say, if anybody has any questions, need any encouragement, anything you want to know, you can reach me at 443-717-3982.
Wait a minute, let me write that down. 443-71.
717-3982. I'll be glad to talk to you, to help you with any question you might have, any experience I might have, what I can do to make your life that much better. I'm looking forward to doing so.
Awesome, man. I definitely got your number one speed dial. But I encourage anyone watching this show. I mean, he's giving you the number. He definitely has great information, very inspirational, very positive individual. But yeah, man, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking the time to come on Urban Health Outreach Media. Man, I want to thank your wife for taking good care of you. And I want to, man, thank you, man, just for being my friend and tell you that I love you, man. I appreciate
you. I love you too, bro. Thank you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, Derald. Take care, man. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Thanks. So, guys, again, this was an awesome show. Again, no short of a miracle hearing this man's story. And I'm just so glad that God has blessed me the opportunity to enter his life at the time that he did. It's been about 6 years since I've known Derald. And again, he's been nothing but a mentor to me. So guys, stay tuned. 8:30, we got the show. You want to stay tuned for this. We got Jared A. Brown, host of the Warriors Quest. He got some great guests coming on. You don't want to miss this show. He was on earlier talking about it, talking how special it was going to be. Again, Warriors Quest at 8:30 with Jared A. Brown. Want to thank you guys again for tuning in for this special broadcast of Urban Health Outreach Media. Take care of yourself. God bless and stay safe. Peace.
Yo, it's about to go down. I said, yo, it's about to go down.